This is Tom Myers, Superintendent of the Bellevue Community School District in Bellevue, Iowa, giving you this bi-weekly update of the Believe in the Blue. Beginning in a couple of weeks, we'll have weekly updates again, but I just want to give you an update on some things happening. We had a board meeting last night, August 10th. Some things that happened there. Just going to hit some highlights here. We had a COMET curriculum presentation, which I will put that online along with the COMET highlights of that meeting later on this afternoon. It'll be on our website. You'll see that on the front page. One thing I shared there is the Bellevue Community School District Passion with Purpose. And as it says there, the primary aim of education is not to enable students to do well in school, but to assist them to do well in their lives outside of school. It's about 5 pages here, and it talks about a variety of things from GPA to college and other training that students are having. It goes over ACT scores, talks about the amount of students attending college or going into the workforce, talks about ACT scores, and talks about extracurricular activities. I'm not going to go over everything, but if you would like to view this, it will be online. And so again, I'll have a link for that on the website that will go directly to the superintendent learning videos, and it'll be there as well. I just want to hit a couple things here. Students who graduate the Bellevue Community Schools with a 2.4 GPA or higher, 85% of those students end up going to college, or actually end up earning a college degree, end up going to college. If you have a 3.0, which is a B average, 93.5% of those students end up enrolling in college and pursuing a degree. I also consider the military training as part of that as well. We have 1 to 2 to maybe 3 students per year who enter the military. Also talk about extracurricular, and this goes back from 2009 to current time. Talk about extracurricular participation here, the amount of students involved in 2+ activities is around 87% of our students overall. So some very good information there on people that way and their involvement. I do believe that extracurricular participation or co-curricular participation, whether that's athletics, fine arts, whatever the cases, are very important for the success of students academically, socially, as they move through the years in high school and beyond. And that starts at a young age. With, I know I received something yesterday about youth soccer. That's starting up. We had Bellevue baseball and softball in the summertime. There's a lot of things. Having your students involved in activities like that beyond school are very important for their overall development. That's my personal opinion, but I think it's also backed by a lot of research over time as well. Some things we did talk about last night at the meeting also, board secretary appointment. As far as that goes, Penny Meninger will be continuing in that role. Talk about depositor banks. We're using both banks in Bellevue along with a couple other banks for our deposits that way for money. We have a student teaching agreement with Clark University. We nearly every year have at least one student from Clark in our district teaching. We have approved the employee handbooks and the student handbooks, and we would like a copy of those. Those are also online. We talk about IASB legislative priorities. That's the Iowa Association of School Boards. Priorities the Bellevue School sent to them or sending them are the following: education reform, looking at assessments that truly measure student learning. Extension of the state penny, that's the 1 cent. That is scheduled to cease in 2029 without legislative action. There's been talk about the last couple of years, but that is something very important for the future. Talk about supplemental state aid. This year we had 1.25% state aid. That's one of the lowest times in recent years, or in many years as far as that goes. Just looking for appropriate funding for schools. So that's where we're going that way. Governor Branstad also vetoed the one-time money that we were going to use for one-time purchases, such as classroom collaborative furniture, some possible new technologies, and some other things like that to improve the lives of our students that way. And the final thing there is transportation funding. Summer project update. Science rooms are nearly completed. That's good since school starts August 24th, and since all teachers will be back in the building on August 18th for professional development. New teachers to the district actually come on August 17th, but the rooms are nearly completed. Painting's done, flooring's done, ceiling tiles basically done except for the areas where they're installing sprinklers, which they're doing right now, as it's just in the hallway. Cabinets are installed. We'll have some of the old cabinets we're recycling using as well. We'll be getting those installed in the next few weeks or months. Electrical work's completed. The window framing, there's a window that needs to be, 2 windows need to be put in. Those will be put in this week yet. And everything looks good to go that way. Encourage you to come out sometime and look at those. Also, some other projects. We have a ramp on the south side of the elementary building. Also did some fill on some steps leading into the building from the south side. There'll be a rail put up and the door will be put in on Wednesday. That's going to make it much easier, much more accessible for people to enter the gym area that way, for whatever the case may be. Gym floors have been refinished. Fourth grade elementary restrooms were painted, and that was part of the problem-based learning activity that the students had. We did not do all of their things. We were working on doing those a little by little, but painting was one of them. We let the students basically pick the color and give us some options for colors, and we went that way between the girls and the boys' restrooms, 2 different colors. We're adding graphics to the walls in both buildings and on some doors. We have some new tables, obviously, in Mr. Yeager's room, or the former tech lab, also Miss Kellogg's room. Mr. Schrader's room, we have now moved Mr. Schrader in for most of his classes will be in the main building that way. We also have a greenhouse and part of the new science area, or what we're calling a greenhouse, open sunlight coming in there through a window. It's just a lot of things going on that way. Also talking about the Cole Park Improvement Project. We're moving forward with that. There will be a forum out here at the middle school, high school on next Wednesday, August 19th. So that'll be happening that way. There'll be more information about that in the newspaper coming up this week. But really looking to both athletic directors and all the coaches for baseball and softball at both Bellevue Public and Marquette Catholic met, worked out scheduling conflicts. We're very few. There is one conflict right now that we will likely be playing one game at our field if we continue with the Cole Park Improvement Project that way. We'll be making some baseball dugout improvements, concession stand for use by both schools, irrigation and watering for both diamonds, probably some type of field prep tractor to purchase together to use. And also the city is looking at having a youth programming director for the summertime. So that's another thing. And looking to improve Little League fields as well. The city is, and Bellevue Little League or Bellevue Ball Association are. So some things going on that way. When the athletic directors and the coaches got together, they did a great job. From Dave Wright, athletic director at Bellevue, Mark Miller, athletic director at Marquette, along with Julie Schmidt helped out there too. Then all the coaches, Pete Boniface, Bellevue Baseball, Scott Jess, Bellevue Softball, Melissa Storm, who's been very involved in this process at Marquette Catholic, and Joel Seaverny, a Marquette Catholic baseball coach. All work together well. Questions are out there yet, feel free to come to the forum. Feel free to give me a call, give Loris Herrig a call, Tim Roth a call, Marquette Catholic a call. Other people, just feel free to give us a call, though, regardless of whatever the case is that way. We had some information and comment reading and reflection we shared as well on what learning is and how it pertains to the Bellevue schools and maybe nationally or internationally, and looking at things that way. That is also on the website under comment highlights. We talk about some Comet School finance information. The books are closed. We don't have official numbers yet until September. Looks like we came out very well financially this year. We have a surplus carrying over right now. We're estimating, at least at this time, more information later on, the 1.25% financing for this upcoming school year. We can handle that for a year. If it continues more than that, not only will the Bellevue schools have some financial things to look at, but other schools across the state will as well. Bellevue schools are in good financial shape right now, but with limited financing in future years, it's only going to cause problems. Some information items. School registration, as many of you know, was August 3rd and 4th. Things went well. We had, just elementary-wise, we had 91% of the students and families attended. At the middle school, high school, we had 85% of those students' families attended. With a few new students coming in as well. I have more numbers on that later on once school starts and actually everyone is registered. The Bellevue Community School District will be presenting at the Iowa Association of School Boards in November, on November 18th and 19th, one of those days, November 19th. We'll be presenting about problem-based learning for relevant learning. We'll have some teachers, administrators, and students going out there to present. That's an honor for this district and for us to be able to share what we do here at the Bellevue schools that way. Also have a facilities committee visit to the Millwork District in Dubuque coming up on next Tuesday, just to look at what is possible with things and restoration. We have new teacher welcoming. New teachers will be welcome at Offshore on August 26th at 5:30. Board elections for school board are September 8th. Papers were due already to be filed, but we have Janet Sieverding, Kevin Lundeen, and Martha Henning running for their seats again. And some basic things like that going on. We also had a joint board meeting with the Andrew District last night, and we just talked about how we are using the 1 cent monies that are part of the agreement with the Andrew Community School District that follow students to Bellevue. So that is going on. My computer died here for a second. I'm just trying to get it back up again. So looking at that, we talked about how we've used that for air conditioning rooms. We talked about that for the Mr. Yeager's room that all freshmen and all juniors will be in. Some collaborative tables, high top tables, cloverleaf type tables that allow for more conversation and collaboration amongst students. Also talk about the whole grade sharing agreement and how things have been going. There have been no significant problems at all for anyone involved that way. Next week, I will be back again, and I will give you an update for this upcoming year of initiatives and things like that going on. I'll give you a hint right now. Problem-based learning is one of those. Collaboration among our students and our staff is important. Looking at data and how can we meet student needs no matter if they already know something, what can we give them beyond that, or if they're struggling, what can we do to assist them in their learning. So ultimately, a lot of things going on. School is getting started, like I said, and all of you know that as well. I will be putting some things on the website later on today, along with this video. But have a great day, have a great week, and remember, students start class again on August 24th. Have a great day. One final thing, too, the buildings will be open next week for students who want to come in and get things in their lockers or check out where things are at. Along with Unpack the Backpack Night is August 20th. We have a middle school and high school new student orientation and students entering middle school and students entering high school on that same evening, August 20th. So a lot of things going on. If you have questions, feel free to give the school a call. Thank you very much. Have a great day.